we have, or I have been traditionally in this, let's call it silo of maintenance and reliability. You have any like tips, tricks, advice for me to try to move up and get broader exposure? Like what worked for you, what didn't work for you, to grow my own leadership capabilities within the company that I'm at?
It comes to understanding what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are as an individual leader, and play to your strengths. I know a lot of people want to focus on, well, let's fill the gaps of what your weaknesses are. But one thing that I've learned, you work on some of your weaknesses in practice, but when you get game time, you really leverage your strengths. You're not going to have Wilt Chamberlain play point guard for you. Broaden your knowledge within the organization, whether it's within your silo, and since we're talking maintenance and reliability, I mean, there's always continuous learning. And the more that you learn and the more different ideas that you can bring to the group to try to foster that reliability journey and move the organization forward will help you within that department. But that also then has ancillary benefits, right, from an operations standpoint, because if you're improving, the asset health, the operations team is getting the reward of that in essence, and you can then start collaborating with them more and work on continuous improvement projects within that cross-functional area.
It's all about taking initiative. It's not only about just what you think and what you know you're really good at, but when these opportunities arise, and they always do from time to time, like raise your hand and say, I'll take this on. Taking these opportunities gives you that broad exposure that'll help you down the road in many, many ways.
That's one thing that I think leaders need to do to help their employees that want to better themselves is identify this is what their strength is. And it doesn't appear that either maybe because of they're anxious or whatnot, you have to give them a little bit of platform to kind of grow into getting out on that edge or getting out on that plank a little bit and realize that, hey, you got to give them a little bit more rope than maybe you would a more seasoned person that's, more experienced in doing something if this is a new activity you're trying to push them towards.